Hello and welcome to this live stream. How are you all doing? Hello, the Shroud Eye, Magic Geeks, Reckless Triss, Alex Isn't Cool, Carrie, Mr. Twat of Heart, Mystery Mission, Sline, Shadow Asylum, Twinkle Twos, and everyone else who is currently here watching me. Well, watching me. I'm not on camera. Watching this game. How are you doing tonight? Hello, rollers, coasters, and tycoons. I would prefer tycooners, that sounds more interesting. I would send 55 ducks, but the character limited won't allow it, so let's pretend there's 55 of them. Well, thank you for the 55 months, Mr. Slime. Thank you very much, and I will pretend there are 11 times the amount of ducks you have sent. You could have typed out 11 ducks, then a multiply thing, and then a 5. Just boil it down to its prime factors. That will work. Hello, Sound Shooter and Amiune. Amaune? It very much depends on the language how you're supposed to pronounce that name. That would involve math, but math is great. Have you watched my YouTube channel? It involves tons of math. My upcoming video involves tons of numbers. So, I should lower the volume a bit. No, math is absolutely fantastic. So, before we start, we're gonna play another scenario I haven't played yet. Well, not properly anyway, I've done it in speedruns, of course. But before we play, we should have a look at the change log. There we go. Because 0.4.31 has been released just a few hours ago, which includes several new features. Yeah, the weather change drop down, which is in the cheats, I'll show that. Now shows icons next to the weather type for easier selection, that's pretty nice. Let's see. Oh, maze constructions now auto removes trees. That one's a funny one, because I think 2 streams ago, maybe, no, I think just 1 stream ago, I was building a maze. 1 or 2 streams ago, and after that stream I got a message from Gymnasiast and he said, I watched your stream and I made a ticket about mazes not auto-removing trees like normal rides. When you try to build them on a tile with a tree, you have to remove that tree yourself. I just kind of went with it and didn't report it because it didn't register in my mind as a bug, but yeah, it kind of is, so that's now fixed. Let's see. Oh, add upkeep to booster pieces. That is a thing I did. Because in Rollercoaster Tycoon 1, booster pieces have upkeep, 80 per piece per hour. In RCT 2, booster pieces do not exist. In Open RCT 2, they did not have an upkeep piece when they were added, but now they do. There's a lot of fixes which are, you know, small bugs. Let's see. Ah, wrong banner text displayed after loading a different park. That one's been bugging me for a while. Good to see that that's been fixed. Let's see. Game freezes when a tab in the new ride window contains more than 384 items. Okay, I did not know that. Such a specific one. 384 is... It's 2 to the power 8 times 1.5, so it's sort of a computer number. Still, a very specific one. Oh yeah, guests do not have their happiness penalized by low energy, hunger, or high hunger, thirst, and toilet. Which is one that I did not implement, but I did discover. That it was bugged, that Duncan's Pumpkin discovered what it should be by reading the assembly code. Which is properly insane, by the way. So, I discovered while doing experiment for the longest coaster that something was different. And I basically said, hey, something is different, but... And that's been this case always in OpenRCT2, and I don't know what it should be. Because I can't read assembly code. I don't even know where the assembly code... where I would find it. And then Duncan's Pumpkin was just like, yeah, that makes sense to me. I'll just show you it. This is one of the images he sent. This is part of the assembly code of OpenRST2. I believe this is for a different thing, which is had to do with nausea. This is the code of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 in assembly. Which, I mean, it's a bit of a meme. Of course, it's not wizardry, but to me it looks like wizardry, because I can't make heads or tails from this in any kind of way. There's a MOV, which is probably move, kump, whatever that is, Gile, MOV, MOV ZX, Imul, Shrr, ja. I have no idea what these all mean. And he is like, yeah, Duncan was like, yeah, I can read this, and yeah, it's wrong. I can see why it's wrong. I'll implement the correct way it should be. So yeah, that's all. That's fixed now. Let's see. Oh yeah, replacing footpath sometimes results in a spurious footpath in the way error. That's correct. That would be nice. That's nice to have gone. Where were we? Oh yeah, there. Right nausea generation is different compared to vanilla. That's another bug that I discovered. That's related to the assembly code I just showed. They gained sometimes more nausea in vanilla than in open. When the guest is at a 0 on happiness or energy, the game draws too big of a bar compared to the guest stats window. In the guest stats window, that's the thing I did. That's also a thing I discovered while working on the longest coaster. There's a diagonal incline breaks are not counted when calculating upkeep cost. That's the thing Gymnasiast discovered when I did the booster thing. Booster upkeep cost. There are so many great features and fixes that are done here. Oh yeah, guest window viewport doesn't follow a vehicle when boarding a ride. That was a thing I also noticed. I did not make the bug report, but I had noticed it for myself. So, there's a whole bunch of improvements. But the most exciting thing, actually, is a different thing. Namely, it's this one. I'll show you. That one. It's not in there yet. It's worked on, but guests use free transport rides for pathfinding. That is being implemented. We are getting guests using transport rides to get places. And I've tested it a bit, and I want to test this more still, because there are all kind of edge cases that I will need to test. With Frozen Snowy, also known as what were they known as on Discord again? Solus Calum, however you pronounce that, on Discord. And this is fantastic. It seems to work fine with no penalty to performance. And yeah, he's on a whole bunch of things. Of course, it's not done yet, but it'll probably be in the game not too long from now. What that means, I don't know. I'm hoping like within 2 months probably, but I can't say for sure. And it's amazing. You know, this guy is weird and brilliant, because as far as I know, his very first interaction ever with the community came from DMing me 6 days ago. He has now already fixed several bugs. A few that are already in this 0.31 that just released. Has worked on this. This was his very first addition ever to OpenRST2. And he's already this this in-depth and all about it. There's a word for that I can't get to, but this guy's mad in the best way possible. Absolutely fantastic. So I hope we'll see more from him. Yeah, absolutely a way to enter the community. This is fantastic. Anyway, we'll get to playing Urban Park now. Well, Urban Jungle. Urban Park is a different one. Which is, a giant abandoned skyscraper is a unique opportunity for a theme park developer. Which is weird. Who would ever build... Who builds an observation tower on top of a skyscraper? It's completely ridiculous. But it's fun. Remember in RCT1, every tree didn't auto-delete, so building a coastal is constant. Tree in the way, tree in the way, tree in the way. Yes. Okay, we'll start. We're doing maximum research and we'll just... do we need theory and theming? No, we got plenty. How about shops and stalls? Yeah, I would like a few more of those. So, yeah, we don't have the maze, but, you know, just building one through trees like this, not possible without manually deleting them. But now that does it automatically for mazes, which is very nice. Insanity and genius are often linked. Yes, and in this case it very much is, indeed. Gianity. Ah. Oh, we have the price manager on. Let's not. I want to do this manually. I'll charge $5 for this. We could also charge... No, this is Loopy Landscapes. We can only charge for the rides. Hang on. Last stream I also did a Loopy Landscape scenario, I think. And I still wondered whether it was charging for the rides or entrance, but every RCT1 scenario allows you to charge for the rides, so there was no need for me to question that. There's a big fat path that goes to the top. This is very steep to climb without any stairs. And there are no stairs here, it's just smooth. Like, that's way too steep. That's not a pleasant climb. And it's also... It's a 43 meter climb. That's not nothing. That's quite a lot. That's like 10 stories more. It is wheelchair accessible. I wouldn't quite count that as wheelchair accessible. I don't think anyone will be able to get a wheelchair up that. Not even an electric one. I don't think they have a motor powerful enough for that. Cool. We have the RCT1 hypercoaster icon. I don't even remember that one. I'm sure I've seen it. You know, when I was a kid, but... I think these are all RCT1 icons now. Yeah, these are all different than the RCT... They're getting more and more. Maybe they're all there now? I don't know. But the Open RCT2 team has done a good job at introducing more and more of these RCT1 compatibility things. So when you're doing an RCT1 scenario, you are more and more actually playing RCT1. There are just a few things that are different. Such as the park value calculation. That's not a thing that is the same as RCT1. Of course you can do a few more things, but still. Okay, how about a vertical drop coaster? The fun thing is that we can just start with a vertical drop. And that's immediately quite a big drop as well. Okay. That it doesn't make. Then we'll go for a medium loop. That should work. Okay, barely. I'm spending way too much money. This is not a good financial decision. How much money can we... 12k. Well, I guess we just have to make our way back to the top quickly. This is not going very well financially. Okay. That ought to work. There we go. This is a very weird roller coaster. We'll be fine, we still have 7.5k left. And we can probably charge 16 for this. Crazy is February already. Yes. In a week I'll be in Milan. Well, Saturday I'll be in Milan. Well, Friday I'll arrive in Milan actually. I will still stream on Wednesday. So this will not be my last pre-Milan stream. How long do you stay? 8 nights. And then we go back home again. Just unlock the minigolf. Might want to tinker with research. Nah, the minigolf's great. How about an Irol stream in Milan? No. I'm there to holiday, not there to work. You may get a few pictures. $10 plus intensity? No, only 8.28. Which is not too high. Wait, where did the 2.7 laterals come from? Because it only goes 111. And it should be able to take these turns at up to 140. So... Oh, I guess this is a medium turn, not a large turn. There's my problem. That's the unbanked medium turn, which can only be taken at 100. And it goes... 98. Yeah, that's close to the limit. But this thing will make absolute bank. No minimum waiting time. We have more cars than necessary, I think, because it has quite a short ride time of just 45 seconds. We don't have a maze, Mr. Toddleford. Hallo, some in the girls who welcome in. We should build some food and drink stalls. Oh, and probably get a mechanic. How much money are we making? Are we gonna make 1,000 in April? We might get there. Although the merry-go-round is broken down, that doesn't help, but it's not our most profitable ride anyway, so... It really is the coaster that's doing the big jobs. And we are getting a lot of guests now, so that's good. Yeah, loan interest is basically free. That's another Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 thing. Can you build toilets along the spiral staircase? I could. We'll do one underground there. There we go. Next to, very appropriately, a coffee stall. Which, according to people, makes you poop. I wouldn't know, I don't drink the stuff. God, these trains so close to each other, that's mental. Like, in Roller Coaster Tycoon not, but in real life that would be, like, massively dangerous. This is insane. Yeah, I think we're gonna get to 1,000. Thanks to the popularity of Vertical Drop Roller Coaster 1, which is the most exciting name ever. I prefer the old RCT style over the modern park builder aesthetics. In aesthetic I mean a massive empty flat plot with nothing on it. Do modern park builders not have cool landscapes? Alright everybody, place your bets on when the first coaster crash is going to be. I don't think this ride can... Well, yeah, it can crash if you get an improperly timed safety cut out, and it should be able to crash. Not from a brakes failure though, because it enters the station quite slowly. And there we go, 1,000 this month already. If this was Sherwood Forest, we would have already beaten it. Alright, have fun at your other plans, Mr. Slime, or Mr. Awesome. Ooh, swinging inverter ship. That's gonna make some decent money. That's absolutely gonna make some decent money. We already got 200 guests, that's not bad. Unfortunately, a lot of them are stuck halfway doing nothing productive. So what I should do is just build one of these underground. There we go. Now they can at least do something productive underground. And how about an underground wild mouse coaster? $20. This scenario wasn't given the lift in Open RCT2. I don't think so, no. We don't have any transport rides, no. I played RCT1 recently and I understood why station brakes failure was much more common. Rides can still get a station brakes failure with over 50% reliability. That does make sense. There it's called the station brakes failure. In RCT2 it's just called the brakes failure, but station brakes will still fail. I should have done more research into RST1 for that video and included that, but I forgot. I was planning to. I had thought about it at some point, but I just forgot. Which is not the worst thing, because it's an RST2 tutorial, which it clearly states, not RST1, but still, would have been nice. Preferred caffeinated drink. I guess soda. Although, today I made tea for myself for the first time in my life. Because I don't really like tea. But my mum was here a few days ago. And the tea she had smelled kind of nice. So I was like, you know, I'll try a brew. So I made tea for myself. But I don't think I did it strong enough. Because I had strawberry raspberry tea. But it kind of just tasted like nothing. Just like hot water. I could smell it. It smelled very nice. But I couldn't really taste it. So I probably did not make it strong enough. Yeah, probably needed to let it steep longer. Is tea made from only fruits still tea? I don't know if it was literally only fruits. I just bought tea from the store and it says that the taste on it. So I don't know how it's made. I'm not a tea expert, obviously. Imagine having a coaster plow right through a building. I mean, they'll probably do something like that at some point in Saudi Arabia. They're good at that kind of stuff. There we go, that is connected. Isn't there a coaster in Japan like that? Oh, I have no idea. Nobody voted energy drink. Energy drink is disgusting, I say, while having had one type of energy drink once 15 years ago. But it was disgusting and I will never drink one again. Forever traumatized is what we call that. Why am I building a 3D cinema? It's an awful right type. $20 umbrellas. I have that. I made 1,300 from umbrellas this month. And it's raining again. Oh, this thing is broken. Technically it's only tea if it has tea leaves, but a lot of fruit flavored tea is just black tea with added flavor. What exactly is black tea? Is that just the same as black coffee, aka the purest kind of tea? Okay, this one's doing well. And it should have a constant... Yeah, this thing has a constant supply of cars. Which means it is literally going to have the highest possible throughput for a wooden wild mouse with mouse cars. Could put mine cars on it, but I quite like the mouse cars. I think the mine cars, because there's 4 people in a thing, are going to be slightly more throughputable. A higher throughputage. By the way, I'm going to do my absolute best to still have a video out before I go to Milan. I have 3 days for that. And it's 30 minutes I need to edit. It's been recorded, the voiceover. But it's 30 minutes I have to edit, and it's a complicated edit. So, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish it, but we'll see. If the entire park is underground but 1 tile, will they still flock to buy umbrellas when it rains? Yeah, they'll buy umbrellas underground anyway. Doesn't matter, it's just 1 tile, a million tiles or whatever. Okay, it's not quite the highest throughput possible. We don't quite have enough cars for that. But there's still going to be a good throughput for a wild mouse and a good income. It's already made nearly $1,000. It's doing well. Wait, is this... Why is that still not... Did it just break down again? Yeah, it's already broken down twice. The 20th of May, and then again the 2nd of June. It's got 96 reliability, what the hell? Well, I mean, it's unlikely, but it can happen. Okay, what kind of scenery do we have? Ooh. Dinosaurs! Look at that. A dinosaur on top of a building. What is this? King Kong? Dinosaur booty. They're just farting all over the guests. There's a bone sticking out of the ground on top of a building. Very realistic. We got a little bit higher density, that's more similar to all the other densities. This is peak realism, folks. This is how you do it. This is how you do a realism. Making excellent financial decisions. How expensive can bones from extinct dinosaurs be? How expensive were they? I mean, that was $400, which is not that much. I promise I make good financial decisions. How about a mini golf, known as the most profitable ride in the world? Don't knock it off the edge. Fire the staff. Well, that's gonna save me money. Thank you very much, you kind sir or lady. if you knock it off the edge, you have to get it yourself. So I would be careful. Oh god, this is gonna cost a fortune. 162 in path costs. That's insane. Path support costs are absolutely mental. Leave the exit pathless, let the guests fall down. I could do that, but I kind of had the idea to connect this path further anyway. I feel like Open's path support limit is barred. I haven't been able to test this in RST1 in forever, but I feel like this wouldn't be possible. I mean, RST2 did not have a limit. We'll test. We'll save this. We can very quickly test that. So Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. And we'll just see how high we can get. Well, that seems to be the limit. How far did we get? Yeah, that's 180. Well, 177, but close enough. So that is definitely the maximum height. And now we'll test RST1 as well, because why not? Oh, it even has noise. Oh, damn. You're right. You're absolutely right. RST1 has a very low path support. I did not... path support limit. I did not know that. That's just 20 units. Even less. That's 15 units. That's crazy. I did not know that. Well, it's possible now. RST2 game for babies confirmed. Absolutely. How tall is this? Well, 15 units is 22.5 meters. This is... Where's my passport limit key? There it is. 36 to -9. That's 45 meters. That's double the height limit. Yeah, that's pretty tall. I wouldn't really want to stand there with only a fence like this between me and the 45-meter drop. And here there is no fence at all. Which is absolutely madness. Just casually standing there, glitching through the golf course as you do. Hole in... No, almost a hole in one. Very close. Thank you for the 14 months, Meister Schmidty. And good evening. Swing inverted ship still hasn't been fixed. It's almost like I don't have staff. Which I can now rehire, by the way. we do be making good money, which is nice. With 740 guests, it is going quite rapidly. You know what's cool about RST2? That you can build a fence right next to golf holes. You know, it's also cool that I have the option to not do that. I think that's even cooler, you know? Can we please get the duck spawned? When someone does the duck reward thing, yeah, we can. There we go. Okay, that's a bit ugly. We'll just do it like that. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about with the weather icons. You can now see which weather it is. It's very nice. These icons, these pictures are new. Custom design on a Ferris wheel. Yeah, it's interesting to say the least. Invalid height. These are there's a whole bunch of weird stuff with it. That's a lot of ducks, very close together. Purge on unhappy guest. Well, well, well. Do we have any unhappy bastards in town? That's neutral happy. That's unhappy. Haha, die, 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 die! I don't think that's supposed to happen. There we go. Oh god, I'm not going to be able to afford this path around it. It's too expensive. Hang on. This water is nearly at the same level as the ducks. What will happen if we have water above the level of the ducks? Which I think is now possible in OpenRST2. I think the water height limit was increased. Are these just not landing, or are they currently landing? No, they are landing. They just don't have a very far way to go down. So they start landing very, very late. Time to find out. Yeah, let's find out. We'll just use my crop perk. And we'll raise the water very, very tall. Gonna need no. Well, let's just give myself a lot of money just to see how expensive it is. Oh, get out. Oh, crap. Well, I just spent 214,000 on that. Let's see what happens when we spawn ducks. I kind of want to remove. Yeah, I want just the 11 by 11. So. There we go. And then create ducks. They actually fly upwards. They actually fly upwards. We can't go further that way because of the way that the viewport's limited. But they're actually flying upwards. And then they most of them can't make it quick enough though. Most of them continue flying out the other side because they can't make it quick enough. That's hilarious. Amend the duck video. Maybe I should. And there goes all my money to some path. Ridiculous how expensive that is. I spent 4,700 on landscaping, 1,700. That, oh well, 4,700, that was just the pond. But this 1,700 is all path. It's ridiculous. That pond must be disgusting. What do you mean? It's just an ordinary infinity pool. Okay, why is Ferris wheel 1 not the one on one of the sides? I did not build these in a logical order. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then built 6 on the other side. Next to 1 again. One of the Ferris wheels rotating backwards. Well, that's the odd one out then, I guess. It's just there to annoy you. Mr. Vedros, welcome. I'm back from the Moulin Rouge. What is Moulin Rouge? Rouge is red. You can put it in backwards rotation mode. It would... True. But if I do that, I need to close it, so I might as well just rotate it, which I shall do. Wait. There's 2 of them that are different. This one was correct. That was the wrong one. I just looked at orange and red and assumed that that red was the wrong way out, wrong way around, but no, it was orange that was the wrong way around. Now they're all correct. I will eventually build like here and there pathways down as well, but for now that's a bit too expensive. Where are all the guests? There's not many guests up here. Oh, they're all in the middle. The paths in the middle in the mountain are the most crowded. Well, this one is making good money. It's already made nearly 6,000. Take pride in these wheels. Oh, I do. These are my pride wheels. Which it doesn't... It's not as nice of a sound as pride slides, but... Spiral slides, well, first off, we don't have them available, but they also... Ferris wheels built nicely together. It's just a big... a big 6x4 blob. And just one massive, very thick wheel. And we do like them thick. By the way, one of my friends just sent me an article with the title "Patient with anally inserted World War I grenade is the cause of a panic in a French hospital." Which is a hell of a hobby. Did it happen again? I don't know. I didn't click on the article. I don't know when it was written. But again, you already knew about that. God forbid a guy has zombies. Hang on, does it say guy? Nope. Oh yeah, no, it does say guy. Later on. Not in the headline, but later on. I knew about it, I've heard about it a few years ago. Well, I'll click on the article then. How old is it? Today! So yes, it happened again! Why? Like, how stupid are you? It's a grenade. If it explodes, you won't live to tell the tale. And it might just explode. Lol, this line of ducks through the path, swimming in the exit. That's hilarious. Maybe that's part of the king. I mean, sure, it probably is. It's the whole danger aspect, and there's a reason people do dangerous stuff. What did this guy do again? He shoved a World War I grenade up his ass. Which, you know, it's your average Friday morning for me. So I don't know why it's newsworthy. But apparently that's not something everyone does. And there go the ducks again. Poor old fellas. What is that third path laying tool? It's a new one. Well, new. Every time someone asks, it's less new because it's been in the game for longer. But, whee! Oh, I'm doing Q9, so I can't. Whee! It's very useful. What country was this? This was in Paris. Okay, it's time to build some more path infrastructure. Instant nature destruction. Yeah, I guess. Okay, building this partially underground means saving a lot of money. I know someone who was in Paris this weekend. So do I. Oh, please link him that. Oh, hang on, we should use this path downstairs. Was it them? I don't think it was Max. I hope it wasn't Max. I really doubted it was him. Yeah, duh. I mean, he would have just used the Eiffel Tower instead as a real, like a real man. And we're almost done with the path around the building. Those path supports are ugly. Hey, now. We don't shame paths. We don't do path shaming here. They are beautiful in the way that they are. Are the paths in-type cheaper than the other ones? No. They're cheaper. They're not steeper. Let's see if I can connect those. Can I do that without referencing the path height? I can't be asked. That's 1.5. We're on minus 4.5. Wait, no, this is right though. There's path. Jesus, that's 18. Oh, I started way too... Oh, that's a few guests gone. I need to start on this one. I started way too low. Okay, this is also 18, so this should maybe just in a gay line, sorry, straight line. Yeah, there we go. Now it's all connected. Okay, we have a decent path layout now. Let's build a circus. Oh, I thought this thing was too expensive, but nope, it's just unpopular. This thing is probably too expensive now, yes. 14? Come on, 14, 14, 14! Yeah, baby! Why can the circus break down? Injured elephant. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in the circus. So, yeah, I can totally see it being able to break down. Like trapezes and stuff. Or animal barriers, or whatever. It's really quite interesting that they have built a tent underground. That's quite something. I don't think it's ever been done before. Actually, of course, it's more of a question of why can't certain rides break down. I guess something like a crooked house really, it doesn't have any moving parts, except maybe like a door. So the daily maintenance, which is the running cost, would kind of things like a crooked house can't really properly break down. It just has to be maintained, which is the running cost. A mini golf is kind of the same thing. The only moving parts are the guests and the balls. So it's more of a constant maintenance thing. The lift is just a gameplay reason, so that it doesn't get stuck at a top station without a mechanic being able to reach it. The boat hire, the rowing boats, yeah, those could definitely break down. Like a hole in the boat or whatever. Call the pirate ship. Das ist mein pirate ship. What's that a reference to? Because I don't know it. How would you break down a maze? Yeah, that's also more like an upkeep thing. It's from a song. Is that a Rammstein song? It's the only German band I know. Well, and the woman who made 99 Luftballons, but I don't know her name. Oh, we had a geography question that I totally missed. Also, thank you for the 2 months, Geologo. Let's see, when was that geography trivia thing? No question was ever asked. So, who did that? That was maybe Duende. You may ask a question and I will do my best to answer it. This is my pirate ship. There are many more like it, but this one is mine. I only know that from the Family Guy, which from Joe Swanson. I don't know if that's where the reference originates. Or maybe they were also referencing something. Ich don't know. So the people living in these buildings... No, they're abandoned. The reference is Full Metal Jacket. I don't know what Full Metal Jacket is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. I don't think Family Guy ever came up with an original idea. Isn't Peter falling over and then holding his leg going, ah, ah, over and over again? Isn't that original to Family Guy? Okay, can we make this steep hill, or is that even still too fast? The Moulin Rouge is currently the musical played in the Theater of Utrecht. Right, with Carlo Boszhard. Don't know who that is. Love story in a famous French nightclub. Ah. Okay, does this make it, or is 27 too fast? No, that's fine. We just got the space rings, the best ride in the world! Baby. Hell yeah. With fat ghasts it'll crash. I don't think so, because the difference between here and here that fat ghasts make is very, very small. Ghast weight, the impact of that is bigger the further you're along the track. I'm so bad at stopping these from crashing. I'll just pray to Jesus. That'll work. I don't think that quote's entirely accurate, Carrie, because I quoted someone else with that first bit. They said, I'm so bad at stopping this from crashing, which is what I quoted. Then I said, just pray to Jesus, that will work. The I'll just pray to Jesus is not, I just said, just pray to Jesus. I like you guys adding ridiculous quotes that I actually said, but they do have to be accurate. Hang on, what did I just see? What's that? A coffee cup? I guess it must be. Looks really weird when I had it zoomed out. Didn't recognize it. Good old gentle style. How about some different colors per train? We have an orange train. We have a purple train. We have a green train. And we have a blue train. My only quote is always accurate. You are so knowledgeable about that, Piskery. It's ridiculous that I have over 1,000 quotes already. I wonder what the most insane of them are. I should probably open it. Did it just crash? Maybe. I don't know. Didn't pay attention. It probably did. Did it? Yeah, oh, people died. Huh. Well, there's no other option than to do it again to see where it happened. I didn't even realize. I just thought I hadn't opened it yet. Do any historical science fiction coasters have steep slopes? I like them, but I'm curious why OpenRCT2 added them. Well, OpenRCT2 did not add them. They existed in vanilla RCT1. RCT2, sorry. But they were not available. They were not enabled, so you could not build them. But the sprites already existed. OpenRCT2 simply enabled them. Ah, that's the issue. We'll just make the track a bit longer. I'll just have to make it. Slower chain lift. Nah, faster chain lift costs money. No, I'll do it. How much can we charge for this death trap? 10 bucks, apparently. I don't remember setting it to 10 bucks, but apparently. Now, for a while, only super rich guests, super happy guests will want to go on this. Because only super happy guests ignore deaths. And we do have quite a low park rating, unfortunately. 520, this is not quite updated yet. There we go, now it's updated. Yeah, we've lost a lot of park rating. We've lost only 288, that's not that much. Well, it was more, but it's already recovered a bit. I think we're having a bit too much fun with the quotes here. There can never be too much quote fun. Quote 67. 67! I assume based on the title that Urban Jungle is the name of this scenario. Yes, yes it is. I thought I'd do a little GNR reference. I quite like Guns N' Roses, they do good musica. Only mods can add quotes, Brooms 17. Which is a good idea, because otherwise the quote would be filled with random nonsense that everyone would add. Tawamata waka tangi hanga oa 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 tamatai turipuka ka piki maunga goronoku pukai venukita natahau. Accurate. Zero is always the most recent quote, Duvel. I didn't even realize Carrie added that. Quote 1 is already a great quote. Said by the great Marcel Vos. It just kind of tells you what I'm about, right? Quote 1. It's just a perfect representation of everything I stand for in life. I don't want to know what quote 1 is about. Well, that's when we were brainstorming my OnlyFans tagline. If you hear a big explosion in the distance, that's Nightbot blowing up under the strain of all these requests. It's fine. It can handle it. And if not, then that's not my problem. Photo section. Good point. We'll add one there. Is it even possible to still... This is a hell of a log flume. Oh, I'm out of money. The explosions I hear tend to be 12-year-olds losing their fingers. Speaking of 12-year-olds, today I saw a, well, roughly 12-year-old on a fat bike. Where he was going probably like 20, 25 an hour. Without even pedaling, so it was definitely an illegal one. Which is completely ridiculous. And dangerous. I hate fat bikes. Okay, that's long enough. We'll have 62 boats. It goes on forever. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Disco boats! Seven short, you mean 5 short. Definitely charge a ton for this. We could charge 20 bucks for a while because it'll take forever before the stats are calculated. Well, I guess won't head for it when the stats are not calculated yet, I think, so it'll not be that popular. Oh, that poor fella could not afford it. Yeah, at some point it's not really worth it to make it more expensive because guests are just gonna run out of money quicker. So you're not gonna make more money. Should be able to allow to have enough boats so that they're all just stuck against each other. Can't go down hills at all. Yeah, that would be fun. How long would it be? Like a kilometer? With these kind of water rides, they always, when they feel very long, they're still not that long because it's a different scale. Because a water ride that takes 5 minutes will not be that long because water rides just move slow. Have you been in multiplayer lately? I have not played multiplayer in a very long time. So, no. I have not. Name the hell of a log flume. Well, I prefer the name that Gando suggested. Long flume. I saw your name in a cervical shitpost. Well, that wasn't me. God, there are empty boats waiting there. Why are they waiting there? Hang on. Oh, they're all stuck on this rotate section. And there's a bunch waiting behind them. Seems like we got the stats. No, we didn't. There's just a random guest going into it. Yeah, no, boat 1 is there. The message was weird as fuck, so whoever made it has a weird crush on you. Now I'm curious. Hang on. I don't know if I'll be able to join it. They might not have up the shitpost server. Well, a lot of these are still on the old... Yeah, I can't join that. Well, too bad. I guess it's Nick Zekels' shitpost server. Okay, where's boat 1? There's boat 1, it's nearly finished. They just lose speed so quickly. Oh god, I said it was nearly finished, but clearly quite not. Now it's nearly finished, I think, if I remember correctly. God, this ride is horribly long. Guests are gonna be so unhappy when they leave this. But it's done, and we got, well, nearly 7 excitement, but also a 10-minute ride time. That's ridiculous. You made a screenshot of it. Can you send it somewhere? Either in stream discussion or something, or DM to me, whatever. Well, we are certainly gonna make a lot of money from this. I'll just make it wait for full loads. There's always a boat available then. Probably, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We do have a few people heading for the log. It's in Coaster Games. Okay then. Well. Right. I think I'll have to decline. That's the reaction I got. Yes. I can imagine. It's a bit weird. You know, thank you for the screenshot. It's good that you posted it with a thing, just not just the image, but you're also saying, hey, someone made this, so that people don't think you made it. Well, this thing hasn't crashed again, so I think I fixed it. The thing is broken down again. 0% downtime, so I guess it hasn't been broken down for a while, which is good. The thing is still fine. I don't think any ride's too expensive, it's just that people are too poor. Oh, this one might be too expensive because it's a shitty ride. Drink some water. Alright. That was 5 minutes ago, but let's just pretend it wasn't. How long is it actually? 1,079 meters. That means I was pretty accurate with my prediction of a kilometer. A kilometer. What's heavier? A kilo of steel or a kilo of meters? We are making decent money. I should advertise more, because advertising means money. And money means happy Marcel. And still hasn't been fixed. Where's the goddamn mechanic that's fixing that? I think maybe they don't check vertically, so they get like the mechanic that's there and they have to walk all the way up there. That's why vertical parks are stupid. Can we add a boat hire to this pond? There we go, that works. The biggest boat hire ever. Do we have better boats? Yeah, we have jet skis. Gonna talk about speed skating again. What do you want to talk about? It is very nearly Olympicing time. Ah, my butthole dinosaurs disappeared. Must have happened when I raised the water. I'll build some new butthole dinosaurs. It's been a long while since you built a hyperdense park. Yeah, maybe I'll do some in the future, maybe I won't. I don't know. Have a nice sleep, Shroud Eye. Okay, let's we got plenty of cash. So let's build a nice mine train coaster. Yeah, why not? There. Have you ever seen a dude or girl who you thought of, this ain't gonna work out, but, and then against all odds they got first? Yes, I know that I have. I just can't think of an example at the moment. I mean, maybe Irene Wust on the 1500 meters in 2010. She was definitely not the favorite there. She still won. I mean, if we're going about least likely winners, then probably Danish Kuzin in 1000 meters at the World Championships in 2013. He never won anything before that, he never won anything after that, but he does have a world title. So there's that. Other than that, I can't at the moment think of any super big surprises, to be honest. I mean, Chris Huizinga, I guess, is a good example. Because Chris Huizinga used to be very mediocre in the Netherlands and kind of more of a training buddy in one of the top teams instead of someone who would actually get the top spots and go to like world championships and such. Because he never qualified because he was never good enough. And then suddenly, 2 years ago, he improved massively, became one of the best Dutch long-distance skaters, which used to also mean the best in the world, but that no longer means that, and he hasn't actually won anything internationally. But he still got so much better randomly after being like Netherlands, you know, about place 10 or something for 5+ years. So even though he hasn't won anything internationally, he would fit the description, I guess. Steroids. Now more of a different technique. Which not only, because the different technique is faster, now everyone's doing it, and he kind of pioneered it. But it also just made him a lot better. Yours is Itram. I didn't think much of it, and the dude proves me wrong by skating a world record. You didn't think much of Sander Eitren? You didn't think much of the guy who was second in a World Cup, 2/100th of a second behind Dawson in Calgary. You didn't think much of the current reigning world champion. Like, the world record was unexpected. It was basically impossible, and it still happened, sure. But Eitren was always a candidate for Olympic gold. Which he still is, because it hasn't happened yet, the Olympics. It's in about a week, the 5,000 meters. Beautiful quote, 620. Ah, yes, the good old Stardew Valley times. I should find a new game to play. Because, you know, I've done a playthrough of Stardew Valley alongside when I also played RCT still, of course. And that's the longest I've ever played a different game. I played a fair bit of GeoGuessr, but that was never a continuous playthrough. Every stream kind of stood on itself. And I've done a few things like a little bit of SimCity, which was and Zoo Tycoon, which were sometimes continuous, especially SimCity. Maybe I could stream Factorio. I've played Factorio before, completed it twice, so I know the game, although I'm not an expert at it, not even close. AoE or StarCraft? I've played AoE on stream before, but I don't think that was a massive success. In terms of viewership, I don't know, but just kind of for me, I don't think it worked out too well. What about Transport Tycoon or Locomotion? Yeah, I have actually thought about doing one of those two. I don't know which I should do if I do one of those two. I don't know the difference between them. I don't know which one is kind of more popular. Have you played Factorio Space Age? I have not, no. The entrance is not connecting to a path. Yes, it is. Here you go. I want the faster chainer, so we need to retest it. I feel like pretty much every color I've already overdone with wood. Ah, blue not really. Blue's nice. Yeah. Yeah, good enough. love how so many other people like RCT and AoE, I guess we all have a somewhat similar childhood. I mean, yeah, if you were into isometric games in the early 2000s, then RCT and AoE are both very high on your list. There's quite a bit of overlap. I have seen people that are active in both communities. I have seen a few Age of Empires content creators come into my streams or comment on my videos. And vice versa, I've commented on their videos, and I don't know about other RCT creators, but you know, there's overlap. Zoo Tycoon, yeah, Zoo Tycoon was of course another one. I mean, if you like Roller Coaster Tycoon, you're gonna like Zoo Tycoon, nearly certainly. Actually, when I was a kid, because Zoo Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon are very similar, like in the idea, because theme parks and zoos were for me always the two like main kids attractions, which kind of still are. So if you have a theme park tycoon game, why not a zoo tycoon game? That makes a lot of sense. So I always kind of thought that they were made by the same people. Well, not always, but for a while at least I thought that. Because it only made sense to me. Because they belonged together, so why wouldn't they be made by the same people? They are not, they're completely different people. The only thing they share is tycoon in the name. And they have a very different style as well. It's obviously still a tycoon game, but visual style, I mean. It's isometric, but yeah, still very different. Did any of you as a kid play Cruise Ship Tycoon? Because I played Cruise Ship Tycoon. Never heard of it until now. I should live stream that at some point. Hang on, I'll Google a few images. You get a cruise ship, and then you build in it. Oh, that's a stupid idle game. Well, it looks very similar, but that's not the game I want. That's my cruise idle ship. This is Cruise Ship Tycoon. Ah, there we go. These are all bedrooms, like rooms you can get, and you place them all manually. And here people are complaining about not enough places to shop. There's more Cruise Ship Tycoon. It's a great game. Well, I don't know if it's actually great, but I had fun playing it, let's just say that. You know, you have different bars that you can build. And that kind of stuff. But what about Ski Resort Tycoon? Have y'all ever played Ski Resort Tycoon? Goddamn, again an idle game. Fuck off with your idle games. No, I want the old one. That's Ski Resort Tycoon. Oh, I want to play that on stream as well. There's some very nostalgic noises than I have in there. This is Ski Resort Tycoon. Wasn't there a version of Zoo Tycoon but with dinosaurs? Yeah, an expansion. Zoo Tycoon is 2 expansion. Dinosaur Digs and Marine Mania. This is also Abandonware. Apparently you can't get it on Steam then. Ski Resort Tycoon, lovely game as well. I don't think it's quite as good as Roller Coaster Tycoon, probably not as well made, but I had fun playing it. Yeah, the big lodges and all that kind of stuff, and you kept unlocking, of course, bigger lodges, bigger ski lifts, bigger power generators, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, got some massive ski hills here. Oh, hang on, these two are the same thing, just zoomed in further and out. That's the exact same map. It's a very big, it's very tiny, but it's very tiny, this screenshot. Oh, there's a whole explanation here. Can we get a bigger version of this? No, it's just that tiny. Wow, resolution! The pixels! Okay, did anyone play this? I didn't really know. Oh, we just got a crash. I think that was the well, the thing. So no one played this. Oh, it was a vertical drop coaster. And yeah, I was right. It did crash with an unfortunately timed safety cutout. It's still broken down. And indeed, it crashed near the chain lift. This is exactly what I warned against in my breakdowns video. This can happen. They all get stuck here and then the next coaster crashes into it. What's a screenshot? And Ski Resort Tycoon. This needs to be inspected more often. I need to have my goddamn default to 10 minutes. We were talking about Cruise Ship Tycoon and Ski Resort Tycoon. Both games I played as a kid. Try Casino Tycoon. That sounds unethical. I believe there's a game called Toilet Tycoon. What the hell is this? You can make your bowls out of different materials. You can have different kind of flushes. You can provide condoms. Different kinds of seats. That's a very weird toilet. Toilet Tycoon Deluxe. Let's look at what Casino Tycoon looks like. Oh yeah, that's exactly, you know, you play all the machines and you make money, and that's how you of course for more, and you need to provide drinks and stuff, and I can very much imagine how this works. And with tables and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and of course you can decorate with, oh sure, this is Grand Casino Tycoon. This is a stupid mobile game. Looks like anyway. Or is that the same thing? Oh, this is all Grand Casino Tycoon. Is that the same thing? This looks like the original one with crappier graphics. It's from 2001. Yeah, this is the original ski resort tycoon, the casino tycoon. That looks very 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s. Playing on the theme park series. I've never played it, so je ne sais pas. There does go a significant amount of our income now that the vertical drop roller coaster has crashed and isn't doing guests anymore. Well, not many anyway, only happy ones. The Logo de Flumo, though, is having a constant stream of guests. Well, as constant as can be. It's only 1200 an hour. RIP. It's not too popular because it's expensive as hell. I don't think we can really make much more money unless we constantly advertise. Lol, 128 people want to get off Log Flume. Too bad! Well, you know what, I'll not do the wait for full load thing. That should make them get off a bit quicker. But yeah, a lot of people think they're running out of cash and there's nothing we can do about that. There are a guest that thinks the vertical drop coaster is not safe. Let's see. I'm not seeing any. Maybe that's already worn off. Because, all the ones that are... Oh, no, there we go, it's still there. It isn't safe. You bastard. You should have gone on it, because now you die. Haha. We don't need to wait 10 seconds here. It's such a short... It's such a short ride. Well, they don't have to immediately go back, but... Wait, are they still... Why are they still waiting? That's odd. Maybe boat hire mode has an inherent limit of how fast guests can leave? I don't know. That is totally realistic. Most beautiful park. Ah, danke schön. Okay, what are actually the stats of this thing? I haven't checked that yet. 687, 815, 479. That's pretty good. How about Virginia Reel? I don't think you can get a list of quotes book, no. I probably can find it somewhere, but I don't think you can. Okay, will it make this? Barely, but yes. Okay, would it go 60 kilometers an hour there? Nope, we're fine with these turns. It seems dangerous, but it's not because everyone survives. I can't say anything more than that. But everyone survives, which is good, right? I think. I've been told that that's the thing I should strive for. You can get a list of quotes by typing quotes from 1 up until the number we are now. You also have to write them down, of course. I have sharks. Oh yeah, of course, I did the whole Pokemon series. That's where that comes from. That comes from a Pokemon... from the Pokemon Diamond playthrough series. My favorite Pokemon, by the way, is Arcanine and Ninetales. They really are the best. I have a big metal poster in my living room, which has a very beautiful picture on it of Ninetales, with half of it being fiery and the other half of it being icy, which is Alolan Ninetales. It's absolutely brilliant. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. That's a different one. Yeah, there we go. I won't open that because that's a chat. I'll just upload it to him very quickly. That's from WhatsApp from my brother. I have this thing on my wall, which my brother found at a Japan convention. So I was like, hey, can you... Well, he was like, hey, should I buy this for you? And I said, yes, please, that's gorgeous. The one I have is I think 60 by 40 centimeters, which is bigger than this one. And yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. Tell a childhood story. Ooh, what should it be about? Hey, no war calls. Welcome to this stream of the live. How you doing? And welcome everyone else, of course, that's coming with you. We are currently doing a playthrough of Urban Park, which is a massive skyscraper in the middle of forest. Urban Jungle. Urban Park is a different scenario. And I built a big lock flume. It's a kilometer long. It's agonizingly slow. It's very funny. I built a pond on top of it with the best boat hire in the world. Lots of space to go wild. How's the RCT? The RCT is doing pretty well. How was your stream? When I got my DS, I went wild, went crazy on it. Pokemon, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Sonic, Mario's Olympic Games, you name it. How was that for you? Well, I got my first handheld when I was 7 in 2004. Which was a Game Boy Advanced. I was playing NES Ninja Gaiden. Isn't that the game that Arcus is speedrunning? Well, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he's a legend in it anyway. I know him from a Summoning Salt video. I've never played the game itself. But yeah, how was my handheld history? Well, I got a Game Boy Advance when I was 7, in 2004, because we were going on a very big... we're going to travel all around Europe for 3 months with a car and a caravan. And they wanted us something... They wanted to give us something to do in the back of the car during all the long drives. So we got a Game Boy Advanced with 4 games. Pokemon Pinball, Medabots Rokusho version, Tom and Jerry, and hang on, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Because there was another... I got my thing with the game, because I still got them. I'm gonna go through all of them to see, to recognize which games... Oh yeah, Jazz Jack Rabbit. My brother and I were both allowed to pick 2 of them. To pick 2 games, so we got 4 in total. So we got Jazz Jack Rabbit. Tom and Jerry Into the Inferno, Medabots Rokusho version, or Infernal Escape, Tom and Jerry, you see here, and Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. But in total, I have 13 games here. So other ones we have are WarioWare, Tak, Medabots Metabee version, Lilo and Stitch, King Kong, Worms, Ice Age, Lion King, and FIFA. Oh, and Rayman 3. That's 14, because there's also Pokemon Pinball, which is in the Game Boy itself. I don't think that works. I tried to get it to work a few days ago and it wouldn't charge anymore. But it is 22 years old, so, you know. FIFA, not the game I expected. That was more a game my brother played, which also doesn't really fit him, to be honest, so, I don't know. I did play it a bit. But I was never good. I always played on the easiest difficulty with the best team. But yeah, we played a lot of that. Medabots, when we had 2 versions of that, both the Rokusho and the Metabee version, we were able to play against each other. Which was of course very fun as well. No Zelda games. I've never played a Zelda game in my life. So, no Zelda game. Then in 2009, I bought a Nintendo DSi, which I bought with my own money at the time. I was 12. I had saved up. And I did not buy any games for it, because I got an R4 card, which was recommended by the dad of a friend of mine, because the sister of a friend of mine also had a Nintendo DS and also got an R4 card, and he also recommended me a place to download them from, something with Saturn in the name, I don't remember. It's of course long gone, that was 16 and 17 years ago. So I got that, and then I got Pokemon, you know, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and I started playing those in 2010. I got Zoo Tycoon, which I didn't really play on the DS, but once. But of course I could download to my heart's content. I got Mario, which I played a lot with a friend who had a DS, and I still play Mario with that friend. Mario Bros, Mario Kart for the DS, Both of them. Whoops. Hang on. The control panel of my headset got stuck between me and my chair. The volume got pushed to 0. There must have been more games that I played on there that I don't remember. I once tried Call of Duty on there, which I played on the Xbox. I tried it on the DS, which was so terrible, it was unplayable. Because Call of Duty is built on the fact that you have shoulder buttons. 4 of them in total, the triggers and the buttons. But on the Nintendo DS, you have far fewer buttons. So you had to double tap the screen to zoom in, to view through your scope, which was completely impractical. So it wasn't good, but I was curious. God, what else did I get? It wasn't just Mario and Pokemon. I downloaded Scribblenauts, played a bit of that. I could see if I could... Hang on, I'll be back again. Alright, I also grabbed my Nintendo DSi. Is the R4 card in it? Yes. Does it have power? No. It's completely dead. And I can't charge it up here. I don't really have a good accessible thing. So I can't check what games are on it. Oh, I missed the name of Ride of Your Choice 6 minutes ago. Let's see. Name the log flume toilet clogger. Alrighty. The Scribblenauts was a fun game because it was a game where you just could type in whatever and you would get it in the game. So you could type in rocket and you would get a rocket. And you would have to do that to solve puzzles. Of course, not literally everything would work. It wasn't an AI, it was all pre-programmed, but still. It was still very impressive for the time. What else we got? I don't really remember what other games I got, but I played a lot of Pokemon. Eventually I started buying the Pokemon games when they got out, you know. I downloaded Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but when Pokemon Black and White got out, I just bought, I think White, I bought Pokemon White. And from that I kept up with the Pokemon releases, bought them all on the release day. Up until Pokemon Sun and Moon 2, or Ultra Sun and Moon I think they're called. That was the last one I ever bought. And never finished. Never finished the adventure in Sun and Ultra Sun and Moon. And I kind of started playing Nintendo DS less and less. Now I occasionally still play Mario Kart mostly. Just to do some time trials in a very specific setup. Using Tyrant without drifting. Ever 100% Pokemon games? I would say yes. It of course depends a bit what your definition of 100% is, but I at some point had a living dex in Pokemon Black and White, Black 2 specifically. A living Pokédex means that you have every Pokemon in existence, including pre-evolutions, in the box. At the time there were like 500 something Pokemon released, I think. 600 maybe even. So I had all of them, starting from Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur. I had all of them in order in my boxes. I had done everything there is to do. I even did the Dream World, that was still online at the time. Because on your computer you could do little things and send Pokemon to your game. I I did all the Entralink stuff with a friend of mine, the same friend I do all the other stuff with in Pokemon and Mario. I got like every item, did every cave, every route, did all the... I didn't complete every battle subway thing as the battle tower, but I did a lot of it. Trained Pokemon, bred Pokemon. I did pretty much everything. I don't think I got every single medal in Pokemon Black 2, but I got most of them. There were a few I think that were like related to online battles or whatever that I didn't do. But I did a lot. The funniest shit on the DS for me was Sonic and Mario and the Olympics. So imagine this, Wario, the total fat ass, winning gold medal on the 100 meter dash. Yeah, that's fantastic. I never got those, but I did do WarioWare, which also has some sports mini games with Wario. Okay, what are the stats on this? 6.28 excitement, 9.6 intensity, and 6.4 for nausea. Pretty good. So you got Rotom and all his formations. Well, I think that counts as single. Rotom is just one Pokemon, right? So I don't think I had to do that. I've definitely done it at some point. I don't know if I did it in that game. .666 meters long, is it? Oh, yes, it is. Look at that, it's the devil. In Pokemon X and Y, I also bred a lot. Pokemon X is the one I had. I at some point had like 100 fully IV, like 5 IV. Fully EV trained, battle ready, fully evolved Pokemon with all kind of good movesets and all that kind of stuff. Was it the excitement or intensity that was 6.66? Neither. It was the length at 666 meters. I also did some Pokemon speedrunning at some point. Although, albeit with cheating. Because, of course, at the time, I was just like, I'll beat Pokemon Diamond as fast as I can. And I got it down to a time of 5 hours and 9 minutes. Which is pretty fast. But I also blatantly cheated. Because I just looked at the in-game time and just reloaded whenever I lost the battle. Which, according to official rules, is cheating. Not that I was submitting anything, I was just doing it for myself. So, cheating is in the eye of the beholder, of course. But in any kind of official rule set, that would have been heavy cheating. Well, it would be allowed, I think, but that would just be added to your time. Whereas for me, it was not added to my time. I just reloaded and just look at the in-game time at the moment I beat the Pokemon League. Did you ever submit any speedruns? Not for Pokemon, no. I did for Rollercoaster Tycoon. How much park value in Wowowowo? I think Wowowo was a ride, right? Yeah. But the park value we have in the park is 286,000. But Wowowowo is currently a broken down ride. There's a whole tomato in this video about it. Yeah. I worked with him on a video about RCT speedrunning. I may have got many videos on my channel as well. Some absolute insane speedrun strats. Oh, you mean park value in Wowowo? Oh, you mean, of course, my custom currency. I thought you were referencing this coaster, which is also called Whoa Whoa Whoa, but a few more was. So it's more like Whoa 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 Whoa. Yeah, in Whoa 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 we have 2.06 billion. One thing I really did not necessarily expect, but I did learn when playing this now, is that this verticality is terrible for fixing rides, because there could be like a mechanic here and one all the way at the top, and the one at the top will be called because it's closer. At least it seems like that's what's happening, because it's sometimes taking absolutely forever for the rides to be fixed. So yeah, that's not very efficient. This scenario is just way better if you delete the path up the building and just build downstairs. Yeah, but where's the fun in that? Why, Marcel, why? I stand behind everything I ever said. Oh, we got the junior coaster, I like that. Why a furry on your ass? Because they'd be soft. Wouldn't you like a nice soft furry on your ass? Oh lol, we're already too low. I don't know why I'm imagining Vulpix in Marcel's ass. Hey, we were talking on, not in. Oh, it's going a bit too fast there. We'll just extend the ah line, because when you're going over it, you're going ah, which is a joke I stole from Phineas and Ferb. It's funny how this will literally add nothing to the intensity and nausea. Well, a little bit from the drops, but the fact that you are repeatedly being exposed to rapidly changing G-forces doesn't matter. Only the highest matters. It doesn't matter how often you experience it. There are so many things, of course, that are not taken into account, because longitudinal G-forces also don't matter. You could stop the guests in a millisecond from 100 to 0 kilometers an hour, and it doesn't matter. They'll happily go on it again. These guests are strange fellows, but they do steam a good ham. Best custom designed ride. Best? Are you sure about that, my friend? Whoever is the award doer. Are you sure about the fact that these are good? What will be the longitudinal force on an air-powered vertical coaster train leaving the station at 190? I once calculated that it was 70 Gs on a very fast launched limb coaster. Which is quite a lot. But you can go faster. Hang on. Marcel Vos G-forces. So, this is the video. What a weird opening shot. So, longitudinal G's. Yeah, launching at 573 miles an hour, and it's very slowed down. That's also why the train is flickering so much, and you know, you do a little G calculation at 70 Gs. These are brakes. The brakes are at 8.9 Gs, which is not too much. But we can do better because... yeah, we're stopping. We're stopping on the vertical drop coasters. The holding brake for drop, which at 100 km per hour is already producing 170 Gs. But this one, which is going 1500 km an hour, or... yeah, it's a lot of G-forces. How many Gs is that? 2,667. That's more than a Boeing, apparently. Oh, and at 0.01 speed, apparently it's 266,000 because it still stops in the same amount, whatever, I don't remember. I'll have to watch the video. And I can't be asked to do that right now. Either way, it's a lot. And deadly. Can you make this design but with a vertical drop coaster but have to wait for the drop at every drop? You can do that, yes, but it won't make it then. If you do a different kind of design, it will make it, of course, but yeah, you could do that. Guests are complaining about the length of the queues. Well, guests should fuck off. Okay, this thing is now finally too expensive. So is this. All the other ones fine. One seems too expensive. I did that one, I did that one. That one's also too expensive. Oh, it may have been too expensive for a while, I don't know. How does the wait for drop piece change in the overall stats? It does do nothing. I mean, it affects things like average speed and whatever, but it doesn't give any bonus itself. Which is unfortunate. But it's also the truth of life. And the truth of life is a truth you will have to deal with. Bonuses like sudden stop Gs. Well, longitudinal Gs are not counted, so they don't do anything. It'll only really slightly change like average speed. I mean, it depends, of course. Like if I would do a holding piece for drop at the very bottom here, and assuming it will still make it afterwards, it could massively change a lot of things. It could like bring lateral G's from 4 down to 1 if you have an unbanked small turn after it. So it really depends on what comes after it. But in a normal setting where you put it at the top of a drop, it kind of maybe 0.02 difference or whatever. That's all. Even if that. What actually is the goal? Is it 900 guests? 1200 guests in 3 years. Okay, what about if we do the price manager, but we limit, we just do a lazy tax of 80%. But everything becomes really cheap. So this thing is now 270. And that means that guests will stay around for longer. Which is of course good. Time to renew the ads in a minute. There we go. Isn't it weird that the launched freefall coaster can do turns somehow? Launched freefall coaster, you mean reverse freefall coaster? I think it has sprites for turns, yeah. I don't really know why. This right name is so long that it needs 2 lines. The air-powered vertical coaster can do actually quite a lot, including loops. Yeah, that's quite interesting as well. And the what's called hardline coaster can do turns as well. It can't, but it has the sprites for it. That's what I mean. That's what we all mean. We're all talking about things that the coaster does not have track pieces for, but if you would cheat them on a different coaster, they do have sprites for more things. Not everything, of course, but more things. Like the log flume, for example, does not have sprites for a looping, or even steep track for that matter. Okay, will we see a significant increase in the rise of the number of guests now that everything's cheaper? That's the question. Yeah, it kind of looks cheaper to me. Little bit, maybe, maybe not. It of course does take a little while to take effect. Our income has definitely gone down. This went way faster here. Here we got 4,000 in this little change, and well, here it's far less. We do have more than doubled the goal, which is pretty nice. Free rides on Ferris wheel. I don't think those are even gonna work. Yeah, 20 cents is not enough for free rides to work. They're only 12.5% or 1/8 as effective if you don't charge at least 30 cents for the ride you're advertising free rides for. Oh, we actually got a decrease in park rating here. I wonder what that would be. I didn't have any deaths or something. Accumulation of litter, maybe? I really don't know. Either way, we have nearly beaten it. Just got 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beat. I counted my seconds a little bit too quickly. There's 13 seconds in a day. Well, 13.2, roughly 13.1, depends on how many days the month has. So there we beat Urban Jungle. I do like the challenge of it being a different kind of challenge. With the verticality, which could include something new. And I've never properly played this scenario before, so it's nice. I think my best ride would be the log flume. It's just massively long and it makes everyone unhappy, which is fantastic. Which ride do you want to name, Baluigi? Name the stand-up, the devil made me stand up. What's that a reference to? Because I don't know it. What is the most profitable ride of the park? Vertical roller coaster one, of course. It's the oldest roller coaster. It's a high capacity one. It's broken down again. Why is it broken down so frequently? It's stupid. Bring some water. I just did, my friend. I'll do it again. I've just done it again. A reference to the fact that it's a stand-up coaster and stats has 666. Okay, that's fair. I assumed there would be some kind of reference to a movie or whatever, but no, just a thing to the name itself. Right. I want to thank you all very much for watching. And I'll see who we can raid. There will be one more live stream. I'm going to leave for Milan on Thursday morning at 8 AM or something like that. 9 AM, something like that. But I will stream the night before. So on Wednesday there will be one more stream. Well, then I'll miss 2. So it's not like I'll stop streaming for a while. I'll miss probably just 2. But still. We will raid someone called Game Hunter PS5 Official HJ, sorry. Who is playing Crater Lake, I think, on RCT Classic. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.